When speaking on the phone with homeowners, when they initially call KC Property Guys, or they filled out our web form on our website, and we always ask, hey, what's your story? What are you trying to do? And then we ultimately will call and set up a time to take a look at the house. But in that conversation, sometimes the homeowners are like, I'm just not sure about this environment, never done this before, always used a traditional realtor in the past, or I'm considering renting this house, but I'm just exploring options. Cash buy might be an option for me. Here's my advice on that. And so this comes from someone who owns, who has rehabbed and sold hundreds of houses in and around Kansas City. We own dozens, 60 some odd rentals, a small little portfolio of Airbnbs. And so we know long-term rentals, we know rehabs, we know short-term rentals. Renting is a different animal. And for a homeowner that potentially wants to consider renting their house out, I would not recommend it. If it's your only home and it's going to be your only rental, I don't think you're going to find it financially as free or appealing as the realities of someone living in your house and dealing with the chance that this person is going to destroy your house, and then you having to come up with the equity to improve that house before you sell it. And it's a roll of the dice with renters, and that's just a life's reality. It is a 50-50 chance when you put a renter in your house that they're going to take care of it, and it's a guarantee that they will not take care of it at the same level that you would take care of it. So you have this difference in realities, your reality and expectation, the renter's reality and expectation, and that produces conflict. And if you're relocating, especially if you're relocating remotely, and the HVAC goes out, the plumbing goes out, the toilet is leaking, and now you got to create a contractor list to produce all these solutions, ultimately be able to pay them. Or what happens when the renter wants to delay payment or needs an advance or stops paying you for 2 or 3 months, and then you have to go legal. And this is all because of one property. It's much easier. They don't make aspirin big enough for that headache. You know, it's much easier to ultimately just sell the property. And some people have to experience this themselves. They're like, Eric, it sounds good, but I think you're just trying to talk yourself into a property. No, I'm not. I'm dealing with realities. There's an economies of scale when we have 60 rentals. There's economies where we can deal with those headaches and we can absorb those types of bad renters and bad tenants. But when you're dealing with one that's a one-off and you're the only one that they call, and you don't have resources to be able to manage that property or the finances to cover that, you're talking about a house that is now an asset that ultimately becomes a burden. And I've seen it more than one time. So I always recommend, and normally I'm the type of guy that'll say, hey, here's all the variables. You decide what's best for you. And I'll still kind of do a little bit of that. I'll walk you through the numbers of how much is this house going to rent for? How much can you expect to pour back into the house on a yearly basis? What is that percentage? Let me teach you how to be a landlord real quick. I'll give you the 101. It can be a different world, and it only takes one bad renter and tenant to make you realize that you probably don't want to do that again. We call those tired landlords. Someone who's tried it, done it, got burned on it, and then called me again 6, 8, 10 months later and say, Eric, I tried it, but it wasn't for me. I say, that's fine. Let's see what condition the house is in now and deal with the realities as they come.